advice, if rhinos are ever chasing you through your home, take the stairs. Hello, my name's Elliot Connor. I'm a wildlife filmmaker and amateur rhino. And today I'm going to be reacting to real and fake rhinos in films and telling you everything Hollywood gets very, very wrong.
Is that him? Oh, glory to Bastard. Is he still growing?
Of course.
This is good. Rhinos love apples and carrots, so you would absolutely give them one as a treat, like you would a horse.
You guys going to work it out?
So the rhino's being kept in this wooden fenced pen called a boma, which is very common, but this one is way too small and flimsy. It's got about 3 sticks in it. I give it less than a day before she breaks out and goes for a wander, or a randy male rhino breaks in and... Calling rhinos with a war horn. Totally plausible. Rhinos that are raised in care learn to come when their keeper calls their name. But they'd be doing it at a slow walk. Only baby rhinos will run to you, and everywhere else for that matter. They do a lot of running. Riding rhinos did absolutely happen like a century ago in zoos and early Hollywood. I know of one case this century where a game warden took to riding a rescued rhino called Dennis the Menace. But it's gonna be uncomfortable, both for you and the rhino. I love this moment because it's spot on. A rhino's a bit like a cat in that some people it'll be super close and cuddly with and slob all over them. Other people it will hate their guts. When I was filming at a rhino orphanage last year, the oldest male calf, a chap called Leko, just didn't like men. So if he ever saw me in his boma, he'd stop, walk towards me slowly until I beat a hasty retreat and duck back under the fence. Often you'll see truck tyres in rhino enclosures, and they're partly there for the rhinos to play with, flip over, toss about, but they're also there so if a keeper catches a rhino having a bad day and it charges, the keeper can jump in the ring for safety.
Run! It's a stampede! The game!
got problems. Clearly the rhinos and elephants are running together here. But in real life, elephants rape and kill rhinos. So rhinos have some very good reasons for avoiding them. Also, you can't outrun these animals. A person running for their life might manage 20 kilometers an hour. An elephant can do 30, 35. A rhino can do 50. My advice, if rhinos are ever chasing you through your home, take the stairs.
Ha!
Kirk, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Sean.
At about 11 o'clock, right in the middle of that herd of wildebeest.
They won't be in the middle of a herd, but rhinos do hang out with zebras and wildebeest. They can munch a small person's weight in grass each day, but they're some of the least fussy eaters. They'll mow down all the slightly shitty grass and poop it out, which helps fertilise lots of lovely new juicy grass growth, which the wildebeest love.
Tell Kirk to take his time. This is a mean one.
Take your time, Kurt.
Try her pockets. Move in a little closer. See what she's like. Watch your pockets. Don't lose her.
All the action is real. The story goes, one of the actors, Hardy Kruger, owned a game reserve in what's now Tanzania, and whilst they were filming there, one of the rhinos escaped. So the director, Howard Hawks, had been reading up on this kick-ass conservationist down in South Africa who'd worked out how to catch and move rhinos. And he decided to get his actors to try it. 'Cause that's the sort of thing that happened in the 1960s.
Hang on to him. Look out! Well, let's start over.
Nowadays, a rhino will still escape from a zoo or reserve somewhere in the world most years. And there are all sorts of other reasons to catch them, to move them between reserves for breeding, to fit them with trackers, to take an orphaned calf into care. Most rhinos get dehorned to deter poachers, but the horn grows back in a year or two. So we've got very, very good at catching rhinos. Instead of ropes and poles, there'd be an ultralight plane to find it from the air. Then a sharpshooter would go up in a helicopter and dart it. You'd wait 10 minutes till the tranquilizer took effect and the rhino lay down. Then you'd pull up to it with a ground crew in a pickup truck with half a dozen strong guys and a vet. A team like that can catch 24 rhinos a day. but they don't get to look like cowboys, so, you know, swings and roundabouts.
Hey, Buckets, tell Johnny he's looking the wrong way. You've got a visitor right behind you. Why don't you put the tailgate down and let him climb in?
I should point out, this is a black rhino. For any other rhino species, the first instinct is gonna be to run away. But black rhinos, they're all about that fighty. They'll charge cars, planes, people, trees, termite mounds, anything they don't like the look of. Fun fact, this film was nominated for a Best Cinematography Oscar. And given how many times the camera operator was clearly less than 2 feet from an angry rhino, I think they deserved it.
Is that close enough?
She's in season. She needs to mate.
Would a big magic rhino be attracted to a hippo? Could be. Rhinos and hippos do occasionally form relationships, especially in captivity. And this rhino, it spent goodness knows how long in a suitcase. Rhinos do have bad eyesight, but not that bad. A rhino can still see you clearly a good stone's throw away, and smell you half a mile downwind. Hence the need for cunning disguises.
Merlin's beard.
Newt!
If you've got the time, climbing a tree, it's not a bad way to escape a rhino. But it's also true that rhinos can topple trees if they fancy. Even the smallest rhino species, the Javan and Sumatran rhinos, do this so they can eat the lovely juicy leaves in the canopies. You've really got to hope that a rhino decides you're not worth the effort.
Good show, Mr. Grosky.
I can't believe it. Fresh wild greens? Frank, where did you ever?
Go ahead, dig in.
A dandelion. I thought the frost wiped them all out.
All but one.
As the movie's title suggests, these are Ice Age rhinos that lived 36 million years ago. The one on the left, with the funny-looking wishbone horn, is a North American species called Megacenops, or big horn face. The one on the right is Embolotherium, or battering ram beast. It lived in Mongolia, so this one's very, very lost. Also, hate to ruin the mood, but both these species are about 5 million years too early for dandelions.
This has definitely not been my day. I mean, you know what I'm saying, buddy? Oh, what a mess.
Hey, you rhinos, you know, you have really tiny brains. Did you know that? No, it's just a fact. Well, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
Not true. A rhino's brain, it's about the same size as a polar bear's or a horse's or a gorilla's, which ain't too shabby.
Get him!
Two rhinos from the same species, let alone different species, are not going to form a tag team to fight. And I get that they're meant to be a gay couple, but apart from a couple of Indian rhinos attempting steamy lesbian sex, we have no evidence of rhino homosexuality. The good news is, a mammoth might just be able to lift them off the ground. Your regular mammals, your dogs and horses, can carry about a quarter of their body weight. And elephant bones are especially strong and dense. So a 6-ton mammoth probably could deadlift 1.5 to 2 tons. Or a small Ice Age rhino.
Woohoo! We did it! We did it!
What?
Only about half a mile away, he was fixing dinner when he was rudely interrupted. The rhino is the self-appointed fire prevention officer. When he sees a fire, he rushes in and stamps it out.
Rhinos do not stamp out fires. The idea comes from a Southeast Asian myth brought back to the West by European explorers. The filmmakers knew this, but their rhino costume is so good, it seems to have convinced a lot of viewers they were actually watching a real rhino do this. The Simpsons parodied this scene, and now the myth is more popular than ever. Generally speaking, fire in Africa is good for white rhinos, because it brings out lots of scrummy, fresh, nutrient-rich grass, which they love. But it's bad for black rhinos, because it kills their preferred foodstuff of bushes and plants. Obviously both black and white rhinos run away from fires. But calling them the fire prevention officers of Africa is actually pretty accurate. They don't tap dance on fires, but they do mow the grass and create fire breaks in the trails they trample through the bush. So much so that wildfires are 50 times smaller when rhinos are around.
I don't want to pay $4 to watch some monkey wannabe lay in the sun.
But Dad, lemurs are nocturnal.
Don't worry, honey. Daddy will fix that broken animal.
No!
I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm just gonna wake him up.
This is Springfield City Zoo, which means its grounds are most likely public property, so they wouldn't be able to ban Homer from carrying in a slingshot or a gun if state laws allowed it.
Here's your slingshot, Lisa.
I told them a chain link fence wouldn't hold rhinos. Oh, wait. No, I didn't. I meant to tell them.
The tranquilizers used on rhino darts are basically the world's strongest opioids, like carfentanil, which is 5,000 times stronger than heroin. Just touching it can kill you, and a dose lighter than a snowflake will bring down a 2-ton rhino. So that sloth is very dead. Increasingly, poachers are actually using tranquilizers themselves because the air rifles don't make loud gunshots that could alert rangers. But the dosage is so delicate and they have to bring down the rhinos so fast that very often they'll end up overdosing and killing the animal. And even if it wakes, having had its horn hacked off, it'll usually bleed to death.
This is Kent Brockman at the scene of a level 3 rhino alert. Authorities say there's no immediate danger to anyone, except those 3 luckless people whom we'll identify once the rhinos spit out their wallets.
Funnily enough, there are actually 3 levels of animal escape emergency. Every zoo animal is rated 1 to 3 on how terrifying it would be if it got out. But a rhino escape would be level 1, which is the scariest. Kangaroos, chimps, bears, wolves, sharks, hippos, pandas, giraffes, and believe it or not, sloths are also in Category 1. Category 2 is whales and beavers, lemurs, llamas, lobsters, and Category 3 is butterflies and mice.
Don't worry, kid. I know just what to do. Jumanji! Does anything from the movies actually work?
For more rubbish, subscribe. Bye.